Yeah. So over here we are with the new topic, that is fertilizers, and it is there in your book page number 64. All right. It is there in your book page number 64, and the topic is fertilizers. Now, when we talk about plants and soils, so of course we need to discuss something about fertilizers as well. Now, what are fertilizers? All right. If you can see on this picture, there is one hand which has few seeds or few small pots of things in it, right? कुछ चीजें हैं इस हाथ के अंदर. Now, these things are known as fertilizers. Something, the nutrients apart from water and sunlight that you give in your soil are known as your fertilizers. All right. Again, I'm repeating. Apart from uh, water and sunlight that plants get naturally, apart from these things, the other things that we give to the plants are known as fertilizers. All right. Plant does not always need water and sunlight. Plant को सिर्फ water और sunlight की जरूरत नहीं होती. These are the primary things, but there are some secondary things as well to keep the plants into proper nutrients. ठीक है, to give the plants proper food, proper health, so that the plants could rise and so that the plants could grow properly. There are a need of some fertilizers. For example, mineral salts are nutrients for plants. Now, plants does not plants cannot provide mineral salts to themselves, right? Plants mineral salts हमेशा अपने आप को खुद provide नहीं कर पाते. So, in order to give plants proper mineral salts, in order to give plants proper minerals and proper vitamins, we provide them with fertilizers. हम उनको खुद से fertilizers देते हैं. All right. Now, the other image that I would like to show you of it is the definition of fertilizers. Now, what is the basic definition of a fertilizers? It is written over here: natural or artificial substance containing chemical elements that improve growth and productivity of plants. All right, as I have already told you, there are different types of fertilizers, and we will get into it later. अभी थोड़ी देर में हम उसको पढ़ेंगे, but first of all, the basic definition of a fertilizers are natural or artificial things. Let me just replace the word substance into things to make it more easier for you to understand, right? The things that we provide the plants into their soil के अंदर हम जो चीजें डालते हैं to give extra nutrients, to give more energy, to give more power to the plants so that they would grow more efficiently is known as your fertilizers. Now, number two, modern chemical fertilizers include one or more of three elements, ठीक है, in plants: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. These are the chemical fertilizers. Now, as you all know that water and sunlight that plant already absorbs from itself does not contain these three things. ठीक है ना, हमारी sunlight में या water में nitrogen, phosphorus या potassium नहीं होता है. So we need to provide all these three things by ourselves. हमें खुद से provide करना होता है ये plants में. Now, how do we give it to plants? Into different tablets or into different water. जो हमें chemical की चीजें मिलती हैं हम ये उनसे देते हैं, ठीक है ना, insecticide and pesticides kinds of things. The second important nutrients are sulfur, magnesium, and calcium. अब कैल्शियम तो उनको वाटर और सनलाइट से भी मिल जाता है, बट अगेन सल्फर एंड मैग्नीशियम वी नीड टू प्रोवाइड इन आवर प्लांट्स. ठीक है, the things that we provide is known as fertilizers. Now, over here I would like to tell you the different types of fertilizers. All right, there are approximately 6 to 7 types, but on this level we are only going to discuss two most important types of fertilizers. All right, now the two most important types of fertilizers are organic fertilizers and inorganic fertilizers. All right, repeat it with me: organic fertilizers and inorganic fertilizers. Now, when we talk about organic, ये एक English का term है, and organic means something that is more natural. ठीक है, something that we get from nature. That is organic. आपने देखा होगा ना, बहुत सारे स्किन products भी होते हैं that is organic, especially baby products जो हमारी मम्मा हमारे छोटे बहन भाइयों को लगाती है, Johnson's, है ना, ये सारी चीजें organic होती हैं. ये claim करता है that it has something which is a more composed from nature. ठीक है ना, ये nature से ली गई चीजें, इसके अंदर chemical चीजें इतनी ज्यादा नहीं है. So organic means something which is more familiar to nature, which is more natural of a thing, and inorganic means something which is based on chemical, something that has more chemical properties into it, something that is made up of man-made things. ठीक है ना, man-made चीजों से extract की गई हो. So these are the two major types of fertilizers: organic fertilizers and inorganic fertilizers. Now, over here there are the images of it. ठीक है, यहाँ पे मैं आपको पिक्चर दिखा रही हूँ. As you can see that it has colors into it, it has proper, it does not have a proper shape. ठीक है, आप इनके physical properties देख लो. some have some big kinds of the molecules into it, some are in dust particles, and the colors are also different. So these are the examples of इनऑर्गेनिक फर्टिलाइजर्स, यानी कि ये केमिकली बेस्ड फर्टिलाइजर्स है, ये नेचुरल चीजें नहीं है जो हम प्लांट्स में डालते हैं, ठीक है. दीज आर नॉट नेचुरल्स. नाउ व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट ऑर्गेनिक फर्टिलाइजर्स, so this is the picture related to the organic fertilizers. Let me show you. Yeah, these are organic fertilizers, like natural fertilizers. ये हमें नेचर से मिलता है, जो हम सॉइल में डालते हैं. मैन्योर, इट मीन्स काउ डंग, ठीक है. काउ का जो डंग होता है वो हम डालते हैं. आपने देखा होगा कभी अगर हम घर पे प्लांटेशंस करते हैं, हम सिर्फ मिट्टी से तो अपने गमलों को नहीं भरते ना. वी डज नॉट फिल पॉट्स विद ओनली मड, वी आल्सो नीड काउ डंग, देन पोल्ट्री लिटर, ठीक है. वी आल्सो नीड द लिटर ऑफ these hens, then green manure, compost. What are these things? I'm going to tell you that. Peat, dolomitic lime, wood wash, bone meal. Now what are these? These are different types of soils, these are different types of muds. हमारे काऊ की जो मैं अगर इसको उर्दू में बोलूँ तो हमारे काऊ का जो लिटर होता है, ठीक है, हमारे काऊ की जो गंदगी होती है, वी ऑल्सो पुट दैट इनटू soil in order to keep our soil more fertilized and more enriched, so that a plants can grow from these types of soils remains more efficient and more rich in its property, right? So all these things are organic fertilizers because ये चीजें हमें नेचर से मिलती हैं. whereas जो मैंने आपको चीजें पहले दिखाई थी, those were related to the inorganic fertilizers. All right, now over here there are few characteristics or properties of organic fertilizers or inorganic fertilizers, right? Yeah, so when we talk about organic fertilizers, they are cheap क्योंकि वो नेचर से बने होते हैं, वो नेचुरली हमें मिल रहे होते हैं. so of course they are cheap. Improve soil structures and textures, वो हमारे soil के जो structures और textures होता है उसको भी improve करते हैं. Why? Because it does not have much chemical into it, उसके chemical नहीं होता, so of course that is more beneficial, ठीक है. It absorbs and hold water. If you are going to put water into organic fertilizers, it will absorb the water more efficiently, ठीक है. water उसके ऊपर float नहीं करेगा, but it will be absorbed into it. Then number 4, not easy to control the amount of nutrients added. Help check soil erosion. It can keep the soil in its proper shape, and it helps the soil to have more nutrients and to absorb more water and sunlight into it, more amount of water and sunlight into it, right? Where if you are going to compare it with the inorganic fertilizers, they are expensive. Of course वो man-made होता है तो उसके अंदर बहुत सारी cost होती है, वो expensive होता है. It has no fixed shape. मैंने आपको picture में भी दिखाया था, जो colorful pictures थी. It does not have a fixed shape, right? It can be in dust particles, it can be solid, it can be hard. Then they cannot absorb or hold water. वो पानी को अपने अंदर hold नहीं करते हैं because ज्यादातर वो tablets की form में होते हैं. तो tablet तो अपने अंदर पानी को absorb नहीं करती है ना. It always keeps on floating onto the water, ठीक है ना. वो पानी को अपने अंदर absorb नहीं कर पाती. Then easy to control amounts of specific nutrients added. आप इसके अंदर जितने भी nutrients डालोगे वो उसको बहुत आराम से अपने अंदर ऐड कर लेती है. It can absorb it. Then it do not help check soil erosion. वो soil erosion को check नहीं कर पाती. All right, so these are few of the differences between organic fertilizers and inorganic fertilizers. And if you are going to compare both the properties, we would able to know, and we would consider, we would conclude that organic fertilizers are much more efficient than inorganic fertilizers. ठीक है, हमारे प्लांट के लिए organic fertilizers ज्यादा अच्छी होते हैं.